In 1998, a man and his son, both beaming with joy, posed for a photo in the bustling town of Omagh, Northern Ireland. The man, dressed in a bright yellow jumper, held his equally cheerful son on his shoulders. They were enthusiastic Spanish tourists, unknowingly standing in front of a seemingly ordinary red car on a busy street. Moments after the photograph was taken, the car, loaded with around 500 pounds, 226 kilograms, of fertilizer-based explosives, detonated. This terrorist attack was orchestrated by the Real Irish Republican Army, Real IRA, a splinter group from the IRA that rejected the ceasefire agreed upon earlier that year. The explosion, which occurred on August 15, 1998, claimed the lives of 29 people and injured 220 others, igniting national and international outrage. Remarkably, the father and son in the photo survived, but the photographer tragically did not. The Omagh bombing, executed by members of the Real IRA, became the deadliest and most devastating attack during the 3-decade-long civil conflict known as the Troubles in Northern Ireland.
By the way, like that, I'm going to be definitely at the road. I can remember all this, just like slow motion. And my wife was behind me. I'm not too sure how far behind me. And as soon as we went out, we had to sort of work our way past people who were waiting out in the street, standing out in the street. I reckon myself on the way that I had stepped off the footpad onto the street at the time, and that's when the bomb went off. There was just a flash of light, and just this force hit you with the bang in, like, you know. Knew right away, just when the flash, that it was a bomb. I knew it was close as well, and I felt myself off the air, sort of spread eagle off the air, and wee things like it was with slow motion that I could feel things flying past me, and the one thing hit me in the arm.
The attack came just months after Northern Ireland citizens voted in favor of the Good Friday Agreement, a crucial document outlining steps toward peace. The Troubles, which began in the late 1960s, were a civil conflict between Northern Ireland's majority Protestant community, wanting to remain part of the UK, and the minority Catholic community, seeking unification with the Republic of Ireland. In late 1997, the IRA and various Protestant paramilitary groups declared a ceasefire. On April 10, 1998, delegates representing major parties signed the Good Friday Agreement, signaling hope for peace. However, some IRA members opposed the ceasefire and the peace agreement, leading them to form the Real IRA. On the day of the bombing, Real IRA members drove from the Republic of Ireland to Omagh. The small town, with a largely Catholic population and a British Army garrison, was particularly crowded due to the final day of an annual carnival. Around 2:30 p.m., a bomb threat call misled police to believe the bomb was near the courthouse, opposite the market square. Efforts to clear the area tragically directed people toward the bomb. Shortly after 3 p.m., the bomb detonated, destroying nearby buildings. The attack put the peace accords in jeopardy. While suspicion quickly fell on the Real IRA, some unionist politicians blamed the IRA's failure to disarm. Gerry Adams, president of Sinn Féin, condemned the bombing, signaling a shift from the IRA's previous stance that civilian casualties were justified. In response, the British Parliament enacted stringent anti-terrorism laws, and the Real IRA issued an apology, stating civilians were not the intended targets. In December 2001, a report by Nuala O'Lohan criticized the Royal Ulster Constabulary, RUC, particularly its special branch, for ignoring warnings about the bombing. Outrage grew when the only person convicted, Cole Murphy, had his conviction overturned in 2005 due to evidence tampering by law enforcement. A second suspect, Sean Hoey, was acquitted in 2007, with the judge criticizing the evidence handling. Frustrated by the criminal courts, the victims' families pursued a civil lawsuit, holding Murphy, Seamus Daly, Liam Campbell, and real IRA founder Michael McKevitt liable. In 2009, a judge awarded the relatives £1.6 million. In 2014, Daley faced murder charges, which were dropped in 2016. The Omagh bombing was not just an attack. It was a significant turning point in the Troubles, highlighting the challenges of achieving peace in a divided society. The real IRA, formed in opposition to the peace process, demonstrated the fragile nature of the ceasefire and the Good Friday Agreement. The bombing underscored the deep divisions and the lengths to which some factions would go to derail the peace process. The aftermath of the bombing saw a strong response from both the British and Irish governments. The British Parliament passed new anti-terrorism laws, allowing suspects to be convicted based on senior police officers' testimonies. The real IRA's apology, insisting that civilians were not the target, did little to assuage the anger and grief of the victims' families and the broader public. The victims' families, dissatisfied with the criminal justice system's handling of the case, turned to civil courts for justice. Their lawsuit against Murphy, Daley, Campbell, and McKevitt resulted in a landmark decision, holding the four men liable for the attack and awarding the families £1.6 million. This civil suit represented a significant, albeit symbolic, victory for the victims and their families. The Omagh bombing remains a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges of peace-building in post-conflict societies. It highlighted the need for robust and effective mechanisms to prevent such atrocities and ensure accountability for those who perpetrate them. The bombing also underscored the importance of continued dialogue and reconciliation in addressing the underlying issues that fuel such conflicts. In conclusion, the Omagh bombing was a pivotal event in the Troubles, illustrating the ongoing challenges of achieving lasting peace in Northern Ireland. The attack by the real IRA not only caused immense loss and suffering, but also tested the resilience of the peace process. The response to the bombing, both in terms of legal measures and the pursuit of justice by the victims' families, reflects the enduring struggle to overcome the legacy of violence and build a peaceful and inclusive society.